Soon I found out that Mr. El-Sharif was a powerful sorcerer. The farm he owned was a paradise for the devil. I had never seen such wealth, massive fountains, peacocks roaming the gardens, several Mercedes parked in the garages, but all of it, every brick, was paid for by black magic. I was assigned a room next to a barn. The servant who guided me, a dark-skinned man Al-Sharif simply called the Black One, gave me only one warning. His voice was like a razor. Keep your mouth shut, don't talk, don't reveal secrets, and whatever you do, never ever go near that barn. Now, brothers, I was born nosy. That warning was a curse because it only made me want to look. Days passed, and I watched the barn constantly. Only one man was allowed inside that locked door. Aliyu. And let me tell you about Aliyu. Aliyu wasn't a man, he was a wall, terrifying, a massive, dark-skinned figure with a hideous scar tearing down his jaw. Legend said a hyena attacked him in the desert, but looking at him, you'd believe he ate the hyena. He had no sense of laughter. Every day, Aliyu would take a basket, God knows what was inside, enter the barn, lock it from the inside, and emerge an hour later. I couldn't resist. I approached Aliyu one day while he was sitting by the door. I tried to be friendly, prying gently. "What's in the barn, my friend? Cattle? Treasure?" Aliyu's dead eyes flickered. "Do you want to see?" he whispered. He pointed to a crack in the boards. "Stoop down, look." I bent down, my heart racing. The inside was pitch black. I squinted, trying to see, and that's when hell broke loose. Aliyu's hand swung like a hammer, smashing into my back. By the time I scrambled up, he was shouting for Mr. El-Sharif. The master arrived, his face twisted with rage. "You son of a dog!" he screamed. "You want to know what's inside?" He snapped his fingers. "Hang him!" They dragged me to a room, tied my ankles, and hoisted me upside down. Al-Sharif grabbed a stick and started beating the soles of my feet until I saw stars. "These legs that betrayed you, today I cut their father!" I screamed for mercy, but the beating didn't stop until I nearly lost my breath. That lesson was branded into my soul. From that day on, I never looked at that barn again. But my work was only beginning. Every Thursday, we performed the farasa. Let me explain this so you understand the horror. In the wild, when a lion savagely devours a gazelle, that's farisa, ripping it apart alive. That was our ritual. We would load 2 massive bulls onto a truck and drive to a remote saint's shrine deep in the countryside.
Waiting for us were the farasa, people dressed in red, with matted hair and terrifying eyes. They weren't human, brothers. They were vessels. They looked crazed, drugged, sitting on the walls like gargoyles, watching. The first bull was the marked. We'd slaughter it in front of the shrine, and the people would carve it up for blessings. The farasa just watched, their mouths watering, shrieking whenever the blood flowed. But the second bull was the nightmare. We'd push this unmarked animal through the shrine's narrow door. To my horror, the second its head crossed the threshold, the farasa pounced. They didn't use knives. They used their teeth and bare hands. Imagine the sound, brothers. The bellows of that living creature as the mob pulled it into the courtyard, biting chunks from its legs, ripping the flesh from its tail while it still breathed. After an hour, there was nothing left but bones, skin, and a severed head. They devoured it alive. That was Mr. Al-Sharif's offering to the jinn. And every week, I had to watch. But even that wasn't the darkest secret. I became Al-Sharif's spy in the Dwar, listening to the gossip. That's how I learned about the missing children. One by one, kids heading up to the mountain school would just vanish. The villagers blamed Aisha Kandisha, the legendary spirit, a seductive demon who takes the form of loved ones to lure you into the forest. The poor parents of a recently vanished boy, accompanied by the local faqih, begged Al-Sharif for help. He put on a grand show, closing his eyes, trembling, pretending the jinn was speaking. "Your son is trapped," he whispered to the weeping mother. "Aisha Kandisha came to him in your image and guided him to her hole. I will try to track him, but it requires payment." He drained those poor people of everything, then sold them bags of stale incense to protect their homes. He was a monster. But the truth was even worse. One day, while eavesdropping near the shopkeeper's door, I heard something that froze my blood. A man was whispering furiously, "It's not Aisha Kandisha. The son of Hajj Hafid saw with his own eyes. Al-Sharif's servants grabbed the child. They're hiding him in the farm." I ran back to the master. When I told him the rumor, his face went yellow. He jumped up, shaking with panic. "They want to finish me." And that's when it hit me. The barn, Alio, the baskets of food. Mr. Al-Sharif was the kidnapper. He didn't kill them, no. He was hiding them in that locked barn. Why? Some whispered he sold them. Others said they were lucky children and he needed their innocence for the ultimate treasure ritual. All I knew was that a line had been crossed and a hatred, pure venomous hatred, started growing in my heart. The master ordered me to calm the village down, but I did the opposite. I became a snake in the shadows. Whenever I found a sympathetic ear, I'd whisper, "Burn the farm. He has the children. He tortures them daily." I poured gasoline on the embers until the entire Dwar was screaming for his blood. Then I went back to Al-Sharif. Looking him in the eyes, I feigned loyalty. "Master, you must flee. They are coming to kill you tonight." Brothers, I did this. Not a jinn. Me. Panicked, he ordered us to pack his most precious treasures. That night, we loaded a truck. This man, who had never feared God or man, was trembling in the passenger seat, reciting Quranic verses like a scared child. He wasn't reciting. He was mumbling, sweating, dying of pure fear. As we drove through the darkness, his voice stopped. I looked over. His face was frozen, yellow, eyes wide open. I still don't know if he was dead or just unconscious. But in that moment, I saw my escape. I signaled to the black one. We had already spotted the small chest in the back, the one with the real treasure, the gold bars and jewels. Alio was in the back of the truck, grieving over his master. The black one and I shared one look. No words were needed. We grabbed the chest. We jumped off the truck and ran into the blackness of the night. We heard Alio's primal screams echoing behind us, but the darkness swallowed us whole. We split the fortune and vanished. I later heard the villagers stormed the farm and tore down that cursed barn. They found the children, still alive, thank God. They never found Mr. Al-Sharif's body. Some say Alio buried him. Some say he woke up and fled. As for me, I took my share of the gold and became a trader. It cleaned my hands, but not my soul. You've just heard a small slice of my life, the chapter where I learned that the worst monsters in the world don't hide in the forest. They buy you tea, give you a room, and call you a friend. The sound of a bull bellowing in the distance.